Welcome to Rhapsodies for the Matriarchy. I am your humble poet and spoken word artist, Bob McNeil. Thank you. This show is a poetical and musical tribute to mothers. Some compositions are metaphorical and some are factual. Before I go any further, give a round of applause to my fellow poet and percussionist, Fred Simpson.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Having read about the illustrious history of Queens, New York, I was inspired to write a poem entitled The Song and Gleam of a Queen. This poem is my way of thanking the borough for its contribution to American democracy. There are two voices in the poem. The first voice is a maternal figure called Queens, New York. This voice expresses its opinions about the people and events on its land. The other voice is that of Rufus King, an American lawyer, senator, and abolitionist. After his speech is finished, the poem returns to the maternal figure called Queens, New York. The poem was published by Newtown Literary. Not only that, it was praised by two former poet laureates, Ms. Ishay Park and Mr. Hal Sirwitz. Now at this moment, Mr. Fred Simpson and I are going to share it with you. There were tribes. There were wigwams. There was respect for the sun. There was respect for the air. To my anatomy's north side, there were the Matanacock. To my anatomy's south side, there were the Massapequa. As for my anatomy's quintessence, there was love for both tribes. This soil of mine was blossoming with comfort, and I saw you all as bees desiring my pistols. On the order of ships, recollections of the 1600s return. You, who were alien, came to me with your wombland roots and made my soil your home. Upon my being's acres you came. While my revulsion for oppression bloomed, I was governed by the Dutch, and townships were formed. Later, the English came and named me after a queen, Queen Catherine of Braganza. Though you fought in the 1700s with cannons that sent warring spheres to your other lands' armies, I waited for democracy to come for all races. And I wanted to wed hearts. Amidst the 1800s, slavery's hardness fettered my spirit to sadness. Release was found once you, Quakers, as well as other ethical ponderers, followed heaven's behavior and used the land that I am for what you called an underground railroad. My trees, my soil, my landscape assisted the escape of runaway slaves. Nothing fed my earth more than waiting beside democracy as it tried to rebirth itself for all races. On February 11th, 1820, Rufus King was on the Senate floor, and he made every acre of my heart know pride when he said, "And now, Mr. President, I approach a very delicate subject. I regret the occasion that renders it necessary for me to speak of it, because it may give offense where none is intended. But my purpose is fixed, Mr. President.
I have yet to learn that one man can make a slave of another. If one man cannot do so, no number of individuals can have any better right to do it. And I hold that all laws and compacts imposing any such condition upon any human being are absolutely void. Because contrary to the law of nature, which is the law of God, by which he makes his way known to man and is paramount to all human control.
Let's bless time's progress. Let's bless time's progress. The 1900s brought more immigrants to the 4 adjacent family points. And to me, every land's culture, every area's religion provided another color for our canvas. And this nation, with my burrow in tow, wanted to defeat Mercury. The horses, then the carriages, then the trains, then the automobiles, then the planes, all provided the motion on and above my being's terrain. Comets should have known awe once they saw my children's speed. My children drank from the well of cleverness. The more you hydrated, the more you created. Hence, aerials, antennas, satellite dishes, and computers reduced information to a box gift. Out of my womb's terrain, fame became a forest. Out of my womb's terrain, I birthed a president's wife, 2 New York governors, a land baron, a tennis star, a weatherman, actresses, actors, singers, rappers, and rockers. Certain enthusiasts would prefer to recall how rock put a hot rod motor in the blues. However, my Astoria, Bayside, Cambria Heights, Corona, East Elmhurst, Flushing, Forest Hills, Hollis, Jackson Heights, Jamaica, St. Albans, Springfield Gardens, and Sunnyside. Remember the jazz of Bennett, Korea, Armstrong, Gillespie, Holiday, Goodman, Miller, Coltrane, Fitzgerald, Horn, along with others residing in the borough that I am. Out of my womb's terrain, fame became a forest. Within this new present of a century, and every epoch after it, forever my nerves will be spurred by a need to serve you, my children, my Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Korean, and Filipino children, my Bangladeshi, Nepali, Pakistani children, my Native American, Black American, Central American, South American, Dominican, Mexican, and Puerto Rican children, my Irish, Polish, Italian, and Russian children, my children. I know these verses have not mentioned every citizen who brightens the borough that I am. But know that all of you are my titans,